Hi there! Welcome back to Advanced English Classes with Harry. That's me, Harry. So we're here to help you to improve and advance your English in the best way possible, to understand the grammar rules, to understand vocabulary, how to use it, expressions, phrasal verbs, whatever it is and whatever it takes, we're here to help. Okay, and remember to subscribe to my channel. If you like this particular video, then just click on the like button, and all support will be really gratefully accepted. And I'll be very grateful and thankful if you can do that. So what are we going to talk to you about today in the class? Well, in today's class, we're going to look at adjectives, and we're going to look at adjectives to describe relationships. We're all involved in relationships somehow in some part of our lives, either in the past or in the present, and hopefully for those of you who are not, in the future. So relationships are a really, really important part of our lives. So I'm going to give you some insight into the adjectives that we use to describe different aspects of our relationships, both good and bad. Okay, if you have any questions relating to this, you can always come back to me through email, and I'll give you the contact details at the end of this particular class. And if you have any other issues, well, as always, send me an email. I'll be very, very happy to include them in future lessons. So let's go. So we've got 14 individual adjectives describing relationships. So I'll list them down one by one, and then I'll go through them and give you an example as to what they mean and how to use them. Supportive, distant, tight-knit, caring, close, tense, dysfunctional, insincere, hollow, fake, dishonest, weak, stable, and finally solid. Okay, let's go through them. And remember, these are adjectives, and they're used to describe situations. They're usually used to describe nouns. So in lots of these situations, we were describing the person or the actual relationship itself. So we'll start with number one, supportive. So this would be used to describe a person. If a person is supportive, then they're going to help. So giving support is all about giving help. So supportive when we have a problem, supportive when we need to have a discussion about our work that we're not happy with, supportive when we've had an argument with our parents or siblings or our children. So in a relationship, somebody who's supportive is really, really important, to be there at the right time and the right moment. Supportive, to give help or lend support. Second, distant. This would be quite a negative adjective to use. So if we're referring to somebody as distant, it means they're not connecting with us, or they're cutting themselves off from communication with others, or they seem to be preoccupied. So when you're trying to talk to somebody who is distant, they literally could be in another location. They could be sitting in front of you, but their mind is somewhere else. Their thoughts are on something else. They are focusing on perhaps their job or focusing on some other aspects of their life, but they are cutting you off, and therefore they look, they feel, and you can sense that they are distant. They're not really there. They're in the same room, but they could be 100 kilometers away because they don't really communicate. They don't connect. Next word is tight-knit. So when we use tight-knit, we often use it not only in a relationship of two people, but in relation to family. So a family relationship, we can refer to it as a very tight-knit family. Tight-knit means they are really supportive of each other. They spend a lot of time together. They are there when each other needs something. The siblings, the brothers and sisters, the parents, they spend a lot of time perhaps on holidays, weekends, dinner. A very tight-knit family. If a problem happens for one member of the family, they're all there to lend the helping hand. So tight-knit meaning really close, bonded, really connected together. Okay. Caring. Well, this is a very positive adjective to use, a caring personality. He has a very caring personality. He likes to look after people. He's always there if his mother or father need him. He's very caring. She's very caring with her elderly grandmother. She goes to visit her every weekend. She brings food, she cleans the house, so she has a very caring approach. So caring means to take care of. Caring means to be kind and generous, and generally look after those people who need our support or who need our help. So to provide love and affection and support when it is needed. Close. A close relationship is a relationship which is tight, okay? So a relationship which is not easily broken, a relationship which is built on trust and love, and both parties to the relationship understand each other very, very well. We have a very close relationship. Of course, in all relationships, you can have your ups and downs, you can have your difficulties, you can have your arguments, but overall, if you're close, nothing is going to get in the middle. So if everything is close, very hard to break that, to get in between, okay? So when we're trying to establish a relationship that is close, we have to understand the other party. We have to respect the other party to the relationship too. Understand what they want, understand what their needs are, and also hopefully that they will understand our needs and our wants. Okay, so close. Yes, I can see they have a very close relationship. They have been together since they were teenagers. They've been together since they were at college. Yeah, nothing seems to upset them. Any difficulties, they get through it together. So that would be a good definition of a close relationship. Tense. So when a relationship is tense, not necessarily about the person, although a person can be tense. Ooh, when you feel that all your muscles are tight, then yeah, you could describe yourself as tense, or you're waiting for something bad to happen. Then you can be tense, you can be on edge. But a tense relationship is not necessarily a good relationship. A tense relationship is something that is waiting for a bomb to explode or something to cause problems. It's never relaxed. Nobody in the relationship is ever at ease. So there are always problems likely to happen. Not now, but there could have been a week or a day or a few weeks or a few days ago, or could happen in a couple of days or a couple of weeks' time. So there's that tenseness, meaning there's some likelihood that something small could start a row or start an argument. So now it could be temporary. There's a very tense relationship because he's lost his job and he's on edge, or he's a little bit nervy. There's a tense relationship because she's not quite sure whether she wants to get married or whether she wants to leave it for another little while. She's quite happy living and sharing the same house, but getting married is a big step, and she needs time to consider that. So the relationship could be tense for a little while until she makes her mind up. So tense can be permanent, not good, and not good in relationship for either party, or it can be temporary because there's some situation that has arisen, some problem that has arisen that is causing this tenseness to be present for a period of time. Tense. Dysfunctional. We often hear the expression a dysfunctional family. Dysfunctional means it doesn't work, okay? And a dysfunctional family is a family that seems to have no rules, no boundaries, no manners. Everybody is doing their own thing, and everybody's getting into trouble for different reasons. Somebody's on drugs, somebody's in trouble with the law. One or two members of the family are not working, they're living on benefits, all sorts of social problems. And you could put it all into a little package and describe it as a dysfunctional family. Yeah, so everybody doing their own thing, nobody looking after the other, nobody caring for the unity of that particular family. So dysfunctional, something that doesn't operate. So when we use the word functional, if it's functional, it works. Dys introduces this prefix and it turns it into a negative. Dysfunctional family. Okay, something that just won't or doesn't work so easily. Insincere, another negative adjective, insincere. When somebody is sincere, they truly believe in what they say. They're sincere in their thoughts. So again, using the prefix in, we turn it into a negative, the opposite, insincere. So thoughts or comments might look on the face of it to be friendly, but you know in reality that these are quite insincere. There's nothing to them, okay? Oh, have a good weekend. Oh, yes, I'm really sorry for your trouble. Oh, they're just words, and somebody doesn't come across as being sincere, and we can describe him or her as being insincere, or the comments that they make as being completely insincere. No love, no respect, no real meaning or feeling of support behind them. So completely and utterly insincere. Hollow. Well, something is hollow, it's empty. The hollow tree. So when a tree falls down in the forest and over the years the inside of the tree rots and decays, you're left with an empty trunk of the tree, which is hollow. Okay, the hollow branch where the owl or the bird nests for the spring. So that this is a hollow branch. So it's empty. So when a relationship is hollow, it means it's empty. There's no love, there's no respect, there are no feelings. Well, of course, there may be feelings, but the feelings may not be positive, so they are negative feelings, and you feel hollow inside. So when we have this empty feeling within a relationship, we feel that there's nobody loving us or caring or bothered about us, and if there's a problem, then we seem to be dealing with the problem on our own. So it is, and the relationship is completely and totally hollow or empty. A hollow sound is an empty sound. You know, if you stand at the mouth of a cave and you shout, you get the echo. Oh, the noise reverberates or bounces off the walls because it is empty. Okay, and that's the feeling when you have a problem and you've got a hollow relationship. You might as well be talking to yourself because the echo will come back because nobody is listening. Same way with fake, the next word, fake. When a relationship is fake, it means false. Okay, so it's something that it really isn't. Okay, so if somebody tries to present a relationship as a good relationship, but in reality it's not, then it's a fake relationship. If they try to present that they are a loving couple or that they're a couple that care or whatever that might be, but deep down both parties to the relationship know that the relationship is not really a true relationship, then it is fake. And fake is a copy, something that is not the original, like a fake painting. Yeah, so you copy some famous painting and try to sell it as the original. Of course, it's not. So it is a fake. It's something that it isn't. So you can do all you like. You can airbrush a photograph, you can do whatever you wish to it, but it's not the original, so it's going to be fake. So relationships can be fake, they can be false. Dishonest. When a relationship is dishonest, that can relate and refer to the person. If he or she is dishonest, it means they're not being true to their word. Yeah, so they tell you something, but then they break their promise. They tell you something, then they tell somebody else something different. So they are being dishonest. And in relationship, particularly between two people, if it's supposed to be a loving relationship, then one of those rules, those unwritten rules of the relationship, should be honesty between the two parties. If somebody is being dishonest, they might say, of course I love you, or of course we can do that, of course you can do that. But in reality, they mean something else. Then they are being dishonest. And again, this is honest, the word, adding the prefix dis. We saw before in a couple of words, we had dysfunctional, spelled dys. Now we have dishonest, spelled dis, prefix in front of honest, turns that into the negative adjective. So dishonest. Weak. If the relationship is weak, well, then it's the opposite of strong. So it will collapse at any sign of trouble. Yeah? So if you don't have a strong relationship, how are you going to get over any troubles? Financial troubles, work-related troubles, just general relationship troubles. We all go through those issues from time to time, but if the relationship is strong, then it will withstand any of those pressures. If the relationship is weak, then it's like a wet handshake. It's not really worth anything. Yeah. Okay. So weak means something that cannot stand any tension, cannot stand any pressure. And when the pressure comes, the relationship will collapse or it will break because it is fundamentally weak. Stable. A stable relationship is something that is flat. It is even. It's not up and down, okay? It's a stable. Yeah, we get through life because we have built stability around our lives, stability in relation to our working life, stability in relation to our employment, stability in relation to our how we relate to our family, and above all, stability in our personal relationships. So something that is rocky goes up and down, okay, or like this, a rocky table moves from side to side, but something stable is even, it's flat, you know exactly where you are. Now, of course, in most relationships, it gets a little bit boring if it's stable all the time and there's no little sign of excitement. So from time to time, you have to jazz up the relationship a little bit and introduce a little bit of excitement. That's okay. That's what people expect. But it doesn't take away from the fact that there is genuine stability in the relationship, stable, even, something that can survive the ups and downs of life, and particularly in the modern life. And then finally, solid is a bit like stable. Solid is dependable, okay? The table is solid. The wall is solid. So when something is solid and you're built on a solid foundation, then the relationship will withstand pressure points. It will be able to survive the argument. It will be able to survive the disagreement, the financial crisis, whatever the crisis that will happen from time to time. Well, that's all about relationships. And remember, this is about adjectives relating to relationships. I'm not giving you relationship advice. I'm the last one to do that. But it's about the English, the adjectives you can use to describe the relationships that you might have with family and friends or work colleagues. So let me give them to you one more time. Supportive, distant, tight-knit, caring, close, tense, dysfunctional, insincere, hollow, fake, dishonest, weak, stable, and finally solid. As always, and as I always say, if you want to contact me in relation to anything, to make some comments or some suggestions for future lessons, then you can do so on www.englishlessonviaskype.com. I'll read them, I'll listen to them, and I'll certainly include any suggestions that are worth including. And as always, if you or any family member or friends you think want to have English lessons to improve your conversational English, or whether it's to prepare for an exam like IELTS or CAE, or to prepare for that very, very important first or second stage job interview with an international company, well, you know where we are. We've got lots of teachers willing and able to help you. And indeed, if you want a free trial lesson with me, then fill in the form, send it to us, and I'll contact you. As always, we really, really appreciate you taking the time to subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it when you join us, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.